Absolutely not. I think Daines should go because you and I are going to be here all day. You should stick and move, as they say, my friend.
All right. Ranking Member Booker, thank you, and Chairman Cruz, thank you as well. I'm very pleased this hearing's being held today. It's very timely for what's going on in Montana, and let me describe what's happening. And before engaging on this topic, I want to take a moment to recognize the community at the Stillwater Mine in Montana. That's a palladium and platinum producer. As we confront these pressing geopolitical and economic threats at the mine, it's the people on the ground, the hardworking folks and their families. They're truly the heart of the community. And this past weekend, there was a tragic loss of life incident at the Stillwater Mine. Our hearts break for the family and all those involved. There was an electrician, there was an electrical-related incident that sadly resulted in a fatality. As you know, when that kind of thing happens, it's a gut punch to everybody. It's a wonderful operation. Been there. Leadership is fantastic. It's been a tough several days. We'll be working closely with the mine and the federal regulators to reaffirm our commitment for a safe and secure future for everybody at the mine and the broader community at large. Well, today's hearing is on U.S. mining and investment in Africa. My questions are going to be a little bit different lane here, focused on mining in the United States as relates to the geopolitical situation. There are 3 locations in the world that mine platinum and palladium, very important components for catalytic converters found in automobiles. The 3 places are Russia, South Africa, and Montana. In Montana, the Stillwater and East Boulder mines are the only primary producers of platinum and palladium in the United States. And right now, they're being targeted by dumping from the Russians. For over a year, Russia has been dumping palladium on the market to drive down prices in hopes of closing the mines in Montana and making the United States dependent on Russians for this critical mineral. The irony behind all this is they're dumping palladium in the United States, driving the price down. The mine had to lay off 700 workers because of the low prices. And yet we're buying Russian palladium to help fund Vladimir Putin's war against Ukraine. If we don't act soon, this crisis is only going to grow greater, and we're going to see the reality then, a new reality, a sad reality of dependence on Russia for palladium instead of a Montana mine. Mr. Woodard and Mr. Pratt, the Montana platinum and palladium mines are owned and operated by the Sibanye-Stillwater, which are headquartered in South Africa. This partnership has ensured the United States and South Africa can continue to produce critical minerals even when prices are low. But the market manipulation by the Russians is a national security threat and one that we should aggressively counter. And that's why I've introduced a Senate Bill 808, the Stop Russian Market Manipulation Act, to prohibit Russian imports of certain critical minerals. I've also urged President Trump to take action through trade remedies, sanctions, and the Defense Production Act. I'm also asking this committee to include language in the State Department reauthorization that will target Nornickel and other Russian bad actors. So my questions for Mr. Woodard and Mr. Pratt: do you agree, and I'll start with Mr. Woodard, that in order to bolster jobs, economic development, and national security in both the United States and Africa, we must take action to counter Russian illegal dumping? Mr. Woodard?
Thank you, Senator. And obviously, I'm very sorry to hear about the accident that happened at the mine. Our condolences obviously go to those affected. But your question really gets at also, the heart of the matter. It's not just China. Russia can do it too. And I think the Russians learned from what the Chinese have been doing, perhaps, on this front. When you have markets that are relatively small, like the markets are for these minerals and metals, they are subject to manipulation. And I think governments do have to pay very, very close attention to what's going on in these markets. So we've seen this administration emphasize things like emphasizing reforms that will make mining and processing easier in the United States, which could open up possibilities for greater investment, which would strengthen the capital foundation of some of these projects and allow them to compete a bit better. You've also seen at least the start of strategies like, for example, was recently announced regarding rare earths with Mountain Pass, which is a floor price, is another option that maybe the administration can consider or has considered and may consider going forward to address some of these problems. Because you're right, these markets are able to be manipulated by malicious actors, as you pointed out.
Just want to thank you, Ambassador Pratt.
I also offer my condolences to the families of the company involved. It was a terrible accident. I agree 100% with the question that we need to find ways to break monopolistic behavior. What we've pursued on the continent is a number of agreements for U.S. companies, but also with countries that have rare earths, including in South Africa, to ensure that we have the feedstock that we need and that it flows toward the United States, not toward China. We're working on several arrangements in West Africa right now as well. And so my piece of this coming from the Africa Bureau is to very much focus on what we can achieve with Africa in the near and medium term to get the minerals that we need while we're developing our own domestic capacity for mining and refining.
Thank you. I'm out of time here, and Senator Booker's graciously allowed me to go in front of him, but let me just make one final point before I conclude. We need the help of the administration. And I think there's a chance here, probably the quickest way to remedy this would be either a targeted sanction or a targeted tariff against Russian palladium coming to the United States. That could fix this problem quickly. As I've chatted with the mine officials, we could probably bring 500 of these jobs back in a very short period of time, and importantly, restore the supply chain of made in America palladium instead of produced in Russia. So this is where we could use the help, and it's dire right now. The sooner the better. Thank you.
Well, and Senator Daines, I will say if that comes as a result of this exchange, this will have been a productive subcommittee hearing, and we can all celebrate that. Ranking Member.
There will be, Chairman, if I might say, there will be 700 Montana families cheering to have these jobs restored. And it's just a shame that it's the Russians right now who have caused this.
Well, and understand you've got a Texan and a New Jerseyan cheering on as well.
No, but and thank you for sharing all that. It was really, first of all, moving. I'm so sorry about the loss of life, but I think more of us can understand that these are the things that join us together to fight for American jobs.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that great testimony.